Hey, everybody, and welcome to an unconventional episode of Defense of the Patients. The first question you're going to ask yourself is, where the hell is everyone? Um, well, one of them's in bed, and the other is acting as my producer, for lack of a better term, since I am so inept when it comes to recording equipment. I am your singular host, Cyphus, for this episode. A quick couple of show announcements. What's going on is we've been providing a ton of content. We didn't expect to get the feedback that we did, and it's been awesome. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun getting to know everybody, getting to know this game, getting to know this community, and I'm grateful for all of the interaction. Roland is going out of town for a couple of days. A few days. He's going to be back on Monday. You'll be hearing this on Thursday, even though I'm recording it late Wednesday night. And we're going to start releasing content every Monday and Thursday. You can expect to hear the next show probably late Monday night. Then after that, we plan to release it every Monday and Thursday, right around midnight, maybe probably about 1 or 2 Eastern Standard Time is when you'll start seeing things pop up on iTunes, the RSS feed, and our website. So keep checking with us, and we will keep providing content. We're going to start writing some blogs, or a few more blogs. Roland's been really active with that, and I think it's been pretty good. I hope that somebody gets on there and reviews his math blog that he just posted. It's about distance. He tries to defend himself. I think it's kind of a backdoor defense for his boots arguments. So I haven't read it completely yet. So I need someone who's really, really good with math to get on there and, check the numbers, crunch the numbers for me. So that's the schedule. Another show announcement. We're going to start having a lot of guests on. By a lot, I mean probably every other episode or so. We've got a few folks lined up. Next week, we're going to have the gentleman behind Amateur Dota 2 League join us, assuming it will fit into his schedule. You'll probably hear that episode next Thursday. And I'm excited to have him on. I think that'll be really good for the community, or for the audience members that we're trying to attract. I'm learning the game, as you all know if you've been listening for a while. I've got a really low MMR, and I'm trying to climb my way up. I consider it a hobby. I want to be good with it, and I definitely want to be involved in the esports community. I'm enjoying myself. Just this, and I mean just from a strictly hobbyist perspective. So anyway, what we're going to do is, I think periodically, if we ever have an issue with scheduling, we're going to provide a getting to know segment. Which is what this episode is pretty much the first of. And this one, I guess, is getting to know Cyphus, which feels very self-absorbed. Probably more nervous recording this episode than I have been any other. So bear with me. My background, so that you understand me, how I'm viewing the game, how I'm thinking about things. My work is as a project manager for a small engineering company. That's my day job. I've been attending school pretty heavily for the last 2.5, 3 years. I'm pursuing a degree in psychology. That's not where I started, but it's definitely where I ended up. I really enjoy that field. I love research. I love looking into all aspects of the mind, human behavior. I think a lot of psychologists probably tell you that. Not that I am one, but hope to be one someday. It's less a study of just the mind, and more a study of our behaviors, and that aspect of it fascinates me. And I see elements, or I definitely see the psychological aspect of this game, just because of the small group communication that's required, and it's really interesting to see teams rise and fall, and sometimes fall apart. And though they may not admit it. When they do their getting to know segments, Roland Wazoo and I have definitely had a lot of arguments, a ton of arguments, and those arguments have threatened to destroy our team on a game-to-game basis. Certainly not our friendships by any means, but I've seen us fall apart. Somebody questions someone's action. Someone exclaims, "What the hell were you doing on that side of the river?" Someone says, "Why did you dive that tower?" And the team just crumbles. When morale is killed, so too is play. And I think that's the psychological aspect that really kind of drives my interest. Um, I didn't play Dota 1. I don't have any experience with it. If I ever sound like I'm a complete noob when it comes to Dota, that's definitely because I am. Wazoo's been playing for over a year, and he's the one who really turned me on to this. Roland was a big StarCraft guy for a long time, and he has always kind of had an interest in the esports arena in that regard. And I think Dota kind of ignited similar flames for him that StarCraft did, but also provided him, I feel like, more of a team element where you're controlling one individual hero. And I understand that several heroes have a lot of micro and a lot of units, but for the most part, you're controlling one singular unit. That's the critical core of what you have the ability to impact in a game. And I think Roland enjoys playing that, or playing a game that allows him to do that and rely on a teammate. I think that he really enjoys the team aspect, and I know that Wazoo does. That's what he complained about for years when we weren't playing or refused to even try to play. It, quite honestly, he would say, "You have no idea how much fun we could all be having if we were playing Dota 2 together." And it turns out he was right. I hate to admit that on a podcast ever, that he was right about anything, but he was right about Dota 2. It ignited something in us. So I guess what I want to talk about on the show is that team interaction. When I think about the topics or the maybe the pitfalls of these lower levels of play that we can potentially overcome, and the things that I see in my play in particular are the way that I'm interacting with a team. I know I overstep. I know I chase. I know I do really dumb things, and I do it even when I get a warning from a teammate. And I'm the thing that I guess I'm trying to change myself and be mindful of is to take the advice of other players and heed their warning, heed their call, and just respond. Be there. Be a teammate. to sum it up in a really simple way. I also want to see us just get into good communication habits, and I want to see us talk about good communication habits on the show. Because I have all sorts of questions. When I watch pro games on the international, which I was getting into Dota 2 and the international was going on, and I had no idea what it was. I thought I had heard somebody mention $10 million, and I thought, surely no, that can't be the case. And then, obviously that was the case. I started learning about it, learning about the really the impact that kind of has on the gaming community. It reminds me a lot of the poker boom. I love playing poker. It's kind of something I do in my off time, and on occasion when I have time, which Dota sucks a lot of that time now. But poker, I think about 2004, I want to say 2005, had had the big boom. For some reason, everybody started caring about it all of a sudden. Man, it may have been way before that. Even I'm probably wrong on my poker date here, but it all of a sudden the main event, which is kind of the Poker's International, it normally before that had prize pools of somewhere around like $2 or $3 million. I think and that was overall. So the first place winner was maybe taking probably taking six figures, and then all of a sudden they started having players walking away with multi-million dollar prize pools. They started hosting tournaments like One Drop, which, if you're interested in poker, that's a really great tournament to watch. I think it's Guy Laliberté. He's the Circus du Soleil owner or founder. Really interesting guy. He's been to space. If you ever get a chance to watch an old show called High Stakes Poker, and I'm probably boring the Dota 2 audience to death right now, but Guy Laliberté plays in one of the biggest high stakes seasons, and he has a couple of really interesting hands, one in particular. But anyway, enough poker talk. The International reminded me of that, and I feel like I'm seeing that boom happen in the gaming industry, and it was really cool to just start getting interested in a game at the time that was going on. And I think I kind of got swept up in it, and I've been enjoying myself. What an in-depth, intricate game that inspires people to do things like create podcasts, create content. And Valve is such an interesting company for, kind of embracing that community and recognizing what your players can do for your game, which is something so many games fail to realize, I think. So I'm going to wrap this up. This is going to be a really short segment. You're going to get this, and then hopefully we'll have something up for you on Monday night, and then we'll start adhering, like I said, to that Monday-Thursday schedule. I want to remind you guys to hit us up, Twitter, @p_show. We're on Facebook and Google+. If you search Defense of the Patients on either of those places, you'll find our page. We're up on iTunes, and if you check us out there, please, leave us a review. I would love to see us get that aggregate. We're really close. Emails defenseofthepatients@gmail.com, and of course the website is defenseofthepatients.com. And then if you are enjoying what you're listening, sans the Cyphus Alone show, go ahead and give us that review on iTunes and tell a friend. Tell somebody what we're doing. That's definitely the only way we grow. And I think that by enhancing this audience, we can also enhance. Well, and I realize this is selfish, but my skill as a player, and I hope to provide interesting content to other people about a game from an amateur's perspective. Somebody who is legitimately trying to improve their play and rise through the ranks, so to speak, of player MMRs, and provide you with those strategies. And like with our upcoming guest from the Amateur Dota 2 League, also provide you guys with the interesting information from the community that'll be relevant to you. So if you're enjoying it, tell somebody. I want to thank you for joining us. This has been Defense of the Patients, getting to know Cyphus. Really interesting guy. He's been to space.